The world was one way. And then came Mayor Pete. And then the world became a whole different type of thing. Totally different world now that Mayor Pete's here. Gosh, I lived my whole life not even knowing who Mayor Pete was. And then in 2019, he burst on the scene and everything's about Mayor Pete. Now, who would have thought a small-town mayor out of South Bend, Indiana would become such a talking point in the Democratic Party in national politics? He met with Hillary Clinton before the race, and now he's here. Put a pin in the meeting with Hillary Clinton thing, because we're going to come back to that. Now, we want to talk about Pete now because, well, he's done something that I think needs to be noted. See, I don't believe that Mayor Pete truly believes that he should win the nomination from the Democratic Party. I don't think he thinks he can beat Donald Trump, and I don't think he thinks that he's even the best candidate or that he even should win the nomination. Now, hold on now. Hold your fire. I don't make that up out of thin air. I didn't go, give me a reason, I'll just make something up. No, I come to the conclusion that Mayor Pete isn't so sure about Mayor Pete from the words of Mayor Pete.
Tremendous resume, one that speaks to your character and your capabilities. But you are running in a field of truly exceptional candidates, particularly in the case of the women who are running, like Senators Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren. So my question to you is, why should the women of America vote for you over our sisters who are kind of more qualified?
Look, I admire so many of the people running. They're extraordinary. And by the way, we ought to have a woman in the Oval Office right now. I'm still disappointed that didn't happen. Now, the other thing that I want the women of America to know, because I've met a lot of women who say, I like you, I like your message, I think you got an appealing candidacy, but I just will not vote for a man this time, is that I get it, and whether you decide to be for me or not, I promise that I will be for you.
That was Democratic presidential contender Mayor Pete Buttigieg at MSNBC's town hall last night, answering what seems to be the central question in this year's heavily populated 2020 Democratic primary. Why you? Joining our conversation, Juanita Tolliver, Director of Campaigns at the Center for American Progress Action Fund. She's advised campaigns on their Get Out the Vote efforts. We'll start with you. Why him?
I mean, what I left that with is like, sure, he laid out his credentials, but he didn't lay out a really persuasive argument as to why him. Because I think his final line was, I'm just something different. And so what could have been a great opportunity there for him to really paint a clear picture, a persuasive argument for his candidacy, kind of fell flat for me. And I think we're going to be looking to him to really hold up that end of the energy around there should be a woman in the White House right now, being something that doesn't work in his favor going forward.
I think that he doesn't have a great rationale for his candidacy in terms of experience or accomplishments. You know, it's the mayor of a relatively small town, but he's extraordinarily talented, right? So I think he may never have a great answer to that question, and he may still continue to do very well because I think people really like the way he parries these questions and the way he dissects Trump's and dismisses him in a very effective way. How persuasive that is to Iowa caucus goers, ultimately, I'm not sure, but I think he'll continue to do well nationally because people find that really appealing.
One word, and I interviewed him on Saturday Night Politics, and he is so damn likable. You know, beyond his resume, which is almost inhuman, and the fact that he's a vet and the Rhodes Scholar and the Harvard and it goes on and on. But the way he answers questions doesn't feel like a politician. Even sometimes if he's kind of doing a little bit of a dance, there's a genuineness. And Nicole, you know this better than anybody. At the end of the day, voters don't vote on issues. They vote on, do I like the candidate? Do I trust? Do I believe in the candidate? And he has a lot of that with him. And I think one of the people who are going to pop on debate stage, other than the top 3 or 4, I think he's going to be one of those people.
I'm surprised you didn't say, you know who does have that is Governor Steve Bullock.
What, does it have what?
No, when you're going through the gravitas, you got to tie your gun.
That's true.
For Pete, Mayor Pete, I think, you know, to answer your question, his position has been he's a generational change, and I think he is literally the living embodiment of generational change. He's 37 years old. I, as a near 37-year-old, think it's a little crazy, but whatever. That is what it is. Obviously, there are some hurdles he still has to clear, and one of them is gender, and one of them is race. And to the extent that he can, he's grappling with those issues now. And so the answer he gave last night seemed to be the most plausible answer to a question that was essentially, you kind of suck compared to these women.
Why should we have a man instead of a woman? It's not that we should have a man instead of a woman. It's not that we should have a black man or a white man or Asian man or a Latino man or a woman. It's because the person that you're choosing must be the best person. That's what should be the answer. The best person for the job. But right out the gate, Pete Buttigieg is kissing up to the audience. Yeah, well, this should be a woman in the office now. Why? Not because she's a woman. Hopefully you felt that Hillary Clinton was a better politician and would make a better president, would make better decisions, would lead the way in a better way, more leadership. These are the reasons why you should choose a president. And I'm aware that in America we don't choose presidents because they're the smartest, the brightest, the most level-headed. No. We don't choose for reasons that make sense. We choose presidents based on stuff like, it makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up. I'd really like to have a beer with him. I love the music he listens to, or she. Dumb reasons that we don't choose what ice cream we eat based on those things. We choose it based on taste, because it's ice cream and we're going to eat it. That's the basis of us choosing our ice cream. But we choose presidents for dumb reasons. If you can't make a case for why you're the most qualified person, why you would make the best president, why you would change the world, why you would lead the country in the right direction, then you are wasting our time, sir.
Because I've met a lot of women who say, I like you, I like your message, I think you got an appealing candidacy, but I just will not vote for a man this time. Is that I get it, and whether you decide to be for me or not, I promise that I will be for you.
Whether you decide to be for me or not, I promise I'll be for you. Come on, man. Come on, guys. This is total. You don't believe that, do you? Yeah, we do. We're dumb. We believe anything. We believe. This is a snow job if ever there was one. He is selling snake oil. See, the Democrats love to talk about Donald Trump supporters and say how ignorant they are and they believe in Trump. They're crazy. They believe in Trump. These people, you shouldn't be able to handle scissors. Shouldn't be trusted around the scissors or the stove. Okay, that's what you say. Listen to you with Pete. This guy spending millions of dollars to run for a race, and then when a woman says, hey, why should I vote for you over these other women? He goes, hey, no reason at all. Got no reason. I got nothing for you. I'd probably vote for women over me too. Give me money. It's ludicrous. It doesn't make sense. It's not a good toy. Now, Donnie Deutsch says, Pete's so likable.
He said one word, and I interviewed him on Saturday Night Politics. And he is so damn likable.
And that's all I've been hearing. Donnie Deutsch is just he's an echo chamber of what everyone else has been saying. Pete is so likable. He's so likable. Well, you know what? Just because you're likable doesn't mean you get to be president. If you're likable, maybe you should go host the Wheel of Fortune. If you're likable, go get the Steve show. I heard he's got an opening on NBC or whatever the hell. He's no longer doing it. Go host Little Big Shots or something if you're likable. Reboot Candid Camera. But that doesn't mean you get to be president, sir. Just because you're likable. Hell, I'm likable.
Obviously, there are some hurdles he still has to clear, and one of them is gender, and one of them is race. And to the extent that he can, he's grappling with those issues now. And so the answer he gave last night seemed to be the most plausible answer to a question that was essentially, you kind of suck compared to these women.
Had a good point. Yeah, he got some stuff to overcome, like race, Yeah. Pete is polling at 0 with black folks in South Carolina. If anyone else is polling at 0% in South Carolina with the black voters who you're going to need to win, they wouldn't even be a part of the conversation. But because the media is able to sell Pete because they got the gay thing working for him, Pete's got the gay thing working for him, oh, we're going to be able to sell this. So they're using it. And when you compare Pete not only to the women in the race, but you compare him to anybody in the race, he really should not be in the top 6. He shouldn't even be in the top 15. I mean, we got senators, we got Congress people, we got governors in this race. Pete should be the mayors in this race, right along with Bill de Blasio and Massam. What's his name? Massam, who I've never spoken his name, but I'll speak it today. Wayne Massam. Wayne Massam and Bill de Blasio. Marianne Wilson has better credentials. Andrew Yang has, and look, what is Mayor Pete Buttigieg's claim to fame as far as legislation? First of all, he doesn't have any legislation. Kind of a big deal, but doesn't have any. His claim to fame is, I want to get rid of the Electoral College. That's not exciting to people. Elizabeth Warren has 800 pieces of legislation. Some of them are okay, or some of them are good, and some of them suck. But she has a lot of stuff, a lot of plans. Mayor Pete, I want to get rid of the Electoral College. Bernie Sanders is the amendment king. $15 an hour. Free local community college. Tuition. Medicare for all. Tulsi Gabbard, regime change, end the wars, bring the troops home. Come on, guys. And I'm not saying the Electoral College is a good idea, but come on, that's not going to follow all the other great legislation. I mean, even Cory Booker has the baby bonds. What big idea does Pete have? Mayor Pete has one big idea, and that big idea is you are more focused on identity than you are focused on issues that really matter. He is not campaigning to be president. He is running to split the vote and stop Bernie Sanders. That's why he met with Hillary Clinton. He's supposed to be helpful in the Bernie Stop campaign and the Nullify Tulsi Gabbard campaign. That's what Pete Buttigieg's doing. That's why he met with Hillary Clinton. To stop Bernie. Oh, yeah. Resentment dies slowly, if at all. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Subscribe to this channel today. Subscribe and share this video because more people need to hear Pete say it. Why is the media pushing a candidate who doesn't even think he should win?